Hey guys, it's Viewmasters Reactions, and we're back with Talks Machina, episode 56, The Favor. We just finished it last night, and I'm wearing my Caleb shirt because Caleb changed the fate of our entire group. I don't know how bad it was about to get. I guess we'll never know. We were at the very least going to get imprisoned or taken in, possibly executed. And Caleb, against the wishes of some of the team, it looked like Travis, aka Ford, was not about it at all. And he presents the dodecahedron, and we now become heroes of the dynasty. We're given whatever we want. We get the favor, we get Yeza, or at least that's where we're going to. We did get a little more information because we jumped to episode 57. I can't remember, like always, which is which, because that one we didn't even talk. We immediately jumped right into the next one. We also got very close to 75 likes, which would have made us watch the entire first half. So if we get like 2 or 3 more people in the chats on a weekly basis, we'll start flying through this. That's what our goal is, to build the live stream so we can start just sitting on live streams and watching 5-6 hours at a time. I mean, we could do whatever we want, but the goal is to build an audience and a nice little group. I mean, we already got a good group, but come join us. There's always 20 or 30 strong there. You guys want to see more of what we do? In the description of every video is a link for Patreon. You'll see the hour exclusive of every episode of Campaign 2. There is only going to be about 10 or 15 minutes this week on YouTube. The rest is going in the exclusive hour because there's only an hour and 10, 15 minutes, so there isn't many options. The rest will be the live stream. I feel like we have a decent one, like a 2-hour live stream coming up. Either way, Peaky Blinders, Doctor Who, Person of Interest, hundreds of shows and movies. Check the link below for Patreon. If not, episode 56, Talks Machina. That was a bit loud.
Did you just purr? Was that someone's chair? Did you just purr, Max? No, he was purring.
Oh god, that's loud.
Is he purring? What are you, FaceTiming your cats?
Yeah, it won't do it because you're not purring anymore.
Lord. Not in the middle of the show.
I think he should.
The only people who should FaceTime on this show are Joe Mango Jello and Sam Regal.
Mango
and
Jello.
Whoever else, goddamn. All right, we have some crit roll stats.
Yes.
Joe
For episode
Mango
56.
Jello. I love it.
You guys know me, I don't like to talk shit.
I feel like he looks blurry
But
on my
Towson felt
screen,
really
but over
absent this
here
episode.
he looks super clear. Very odd.
This was the shortest episode of this campaign.
I feel like I'm getting a degraded
2 hours,
quality.
19 minutes, 15 seconds of gameplay.
Wow.
2 hours?
Dude, yeah.
Of
Both
gameplay?
campaigns?
Of this
2 hours, 19
campaign.
minutes?
There's a shorter one in campaign 1?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, shopping and shipping, one of like the first episodes, like episode 15 or 14
okay.
or something, is really short.
That's because Travis left to go to the bathroom and he pulled the power cable.
Right.
That's why. The episode tied for fewest spells cast
And we
this
got
campaign at 6.
Liam and Marisha.
And all of
Look at
them
that.
were
Caleb
cast by
is here.
Caleb.
Holy crap.
Spellcaster.
Spellcaster.
As a matter of fact, I see that here as well. In the 44 episodes and 136 in-game
golden
days,
drink
the Nine
on the
had the
table there.
beacon. They gained 25 fragments of possibility.
Ooh.
13 of which they used.
13. So 13 rolls at advantage.
Okay, yep.
Good stuff.
Seems deeply underused.
Yeah, doesn't it? I was thinking
Well,
the same
you guys will
thing.
have it for a little
I didn't
while.
want to be rude,
Our first
but we were
question of the
very
evening.
underusing
I mean,
that. We forgot about it a lot of the
13
time, as
rolls
did
at
I.
advantage is like 1/5 of Vax's
Lucky you.
Tuesday.
That's true.
1/5
true,
of that.
yeah.
That's what I'm kind of
Yeah.
thinking. 13,
How's he spending his
that's
Tuesdays
it?
now?
Advantage is 13.
Very underpowered.
I feel like we've
compared to
definitely
Vax'll
Hey, Liam.
not
Clockwork
tapped into
Jack
that.
has
Like
a question we all
the
want to
super
know.
fun ball.
How much
I think
more
we
of
could've
those
got
holy
so
fuck
much
endings
gold
right
out of
before a
that
week
thing.
off do you think we can handle, sir?
Before the end of the campaign, 3.
Okay. All right, good to know.
3 holy fuck
Max, let's get
endings.
some sort of a checklist put up
Clockwork
in the
Jack.
office.
It has been 27 days since a holy fuck ending.
Yeah.
Just a cube.
Yep.
I dig these choices.
How do we define a holy fuck ending? Because I feel like some people's holy fuck is going to be a lot different than other people's
Yeah,
holy
if you're
fuck.
a shipper, that's one kind of a holy fuck.
Exactly.
If you're a combat cliffhanger type horny person,
Right.
you know, that's me.
I mean, it's all sex involved.
It's
but,
all
you
sex
know,
involved, Liam.
It's what gets you going.
Here's the
all
thing, though.
sex involved.
Did you guys think at that moment that Matt was going to cut it off, or
pumping the
did
air.
you
I'm
think
trying to
you
scoop
didn't?
my
Okay.
chair.
No way.
I
No.
kind of was taken aback by that. I understood though when he was like, I want Taliesin to be here. Like that made 100% sense.
Absolutely, but I was just so in it. I was ready for us all to start negotiating our way into an antechamber and talk about things. Nope.
Wow.
Nope.
Yep.
I feel like there's a lot of gold.
Marisha.
There's like a golden pillow, Liam's shoe, the
same.
drink, everything looks like
I'm fine.
very.
Yeah, you're fine.
I mean, obviously it's not
Inside
intentional.
check.
I just feel like it's very
Hey, we have dice.
eye-catching in a pleasant way,
Hold on.
even though that has no relevance.
I'll give you +5. Oh, she rolled a 2.
That's not going to help.
It's hard to read.
+5 is
It's hard to read.
not going to help.
Hard to read.
My goodness. Hey, I like your shoes, dude.
Oh, thanks.
See, I feel like I say this all the time.
thanks, Zach.
I feel like
Thanks for all
whenever
those
I
shoes.
notice something, Brian
so
notices
Marisha,
it too,
Danny
and then it's
Spud
pointed
too
out.
wants
So
to
I feel
know.
like I'm not as crazy
Bo
for
and Jester
pointing it
are
out.
often quick to question if the is it
Like in my
Kryn
head,
or
I'm like, why am I
Kryn?
even pointing this out? It's just
Kryn.
eye-catching.
like
And
a
then Brian
man cream
points it
that
out.
Who
thing
said
with an
Kryn
N.
today?
Did I say
You said
Kryn?
Kryn?
I'll say
Kryn.
all 3
Kryn.
versions all over the
I
place.
understand.
Kryn.
Bo and Jester are
Kryn.
often.
It's not a real race.
You being one of
I
the
understand.
three.
It's a make-believe story.
No, I understand. It's a fantasy world.
I've
Bo
heard
and
it
Jester
100
often.
times as well.
Huh?
I said, all right, Caleb.
Column.
Bo and Jester are often quick to question if the
I like
Kryn
that.
are
I've
really
never
the
heard
bad guys
that,
in this war.
but I dig it.
Now that they appear to be
Column.
sudden friends with the dynasty, is Bo looking forward to getting a better insight into the Kryn and their motives?
Bo has
think
4,000 thoughts racing through her head right now.
That's also fair.
Yeah, one of those is excited about better insight for sure.
Is that supposed to be a? Yes. Jesus, that scared the shit out of me.
Get him.
Is that supposed to be a
Hit
pumpkin
that
that she's
car.
holding? That's orange. I just realized.
We warned
I
him.
don't know what else
You
it
don't
could
be
be.
turning stuff on during the show, and or our dog's coming after
I wonder
you.
if we can mount a GoPro to his collar.
It's got to be
so
a
that when he
frumpkin. That's
goes and
adorable.
does
It's
his
like a knitted.
inner
We could
cam.
absolutely do that. You know what's
yarn
cool
and
about
frumpkin or
the
something.
studio is that if you ask Vinny for something, usually it shows up right
We would
away.
get, if we put a cam on Henry, we would get so much
These
Grubhub
must be gifts
delivery
that they
guy
introduced at
video.
the beginning of the
So
show.
much.
Because I
And you
skipped
would get
some.
every video would be different.
And that
the
Caleb's
scared
been around
person
for a
and the other
while.
person
Now we
who's
have
like,
the stuffed frumpkin. There gotta
like
be.
it's
It's gotta be
different
like
every
things
time.
Brian introduces. earlier.
Everybody, like, only 30 seconds went by since that happened. So everybody's
Yeah.
just frozen in amber like an insect from a million years ago. No time to process anything, really.
Jurassic Park reference.
Jurassic Park reference.
Yeah. But we'll figure out some way to use this to her advantage, though. Come here, boy.
Come on, Pooper.
Come on.
boys.
Good
You
boy.
did
Get him?
good.
Did you
Good
get him?
guard, dog. Yeah, you get that corn.
Yeah, you
Henry is bigger than
Corn.
the
scratch
I
it
was
now.
trying
I mean-
to say corn, corn, and it just combined.
I don't know. It's flattened out, but
did you have-
I mean, it's honestly about a perfect
Yeah,
fit.
there we go.
It's true.
Pretty much a perfect
Did
fit.
you have
but
any
he like
further
takes
thoughts,
up that
Marisha,
whole
on that
thing.
one? Or?
He's massive.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, she's excited.
Looks
Okay.
like a nice,
And also
nice
terrified.
quiet dog
thinking of
besides the
what all
bark
it
there.
means. I'm sure we'll
Pretty
get
laid
into that
back,
one.
chill dog.
I feel like
only
this
gets
was
up
one
when-
of the
when
biggest what the fuck moments.
weird shit's going on.
Episode endings of the campaign and moments at the same time.
This, the Amon attack,
Yeah, the Amon attack.
Lorenzo with
Yeah.
Molly. Those
Sam
are,
was in a tuxedo that night, remember?
See, I would.
That's right.
What? With
Sam
the
was in a
Lorenzo?
tuxedo that night.
Who knew it was going to be a funeral?
Lorenzo is
Sam,
definitely up
obviously.
there. I mean, just because it was so
Marisha.
early
Okay, this one's
in,
for both of you.
I
This is
have
from
to say the
Lesbrinian.
carnival moment sticks out in
Giving
my
the
mind.
Dodeca to the
whole
Bright Queen
carnival
has
moment
major
with
consequences for the
Kyrie.
war and their ability to return to
It
the
was the
Empire.
first like
How do they
crazy
feel about
moment
this? Is
I can
Bo
remember
having doubts
in
about the group after her conversation
experience
with
with
Dairon and
this.
her connection to the Cobalt Soul?
Dairon.
What are you giggling at, you morons?
This entire episode is going to be like, so now that Caleb did this huge
Yes, it
fucking
is.
thing.
But it's
know
still
that
like
could
we
with these
all,
questions.
including Caleb, have to like figure out what it all means. I mean, we're not going to talk about the 5 seconds that happened. It's what happens next.
Yeah, it's what
right. And everybody's got a different point of view on that.
Well, do you guys think? Okay,
regrets,
because
Danny, no
Marisha
regrets.
lost
If you're
her
watching-
mind.
Travis, the last 20
Look at the
minutes of the
size
show.
of that dice. Have I seen that? I don't think I've seen
I
that
think
either.
he
That's
obviously
awesome. And
wanted
it's
to
my
go to
favorite
jail.
Yeah.
Color. I don't know how I've
Yeah.
not seen that
He's
before.
constantly asking me about it.
Yeah.
But honestly, to get Knott's son back, and or husband. Or
Husband.
whatever.
Hub, yeah.
Yeah.
Or
husband.
whatever. Husband, son,
there's a lot of
whatever.
implications. Like how pronounced are we going to be as the heroes of Xhorhas?
Yeah, that's very, like, who knows what we, just, that's what she
happens-
said. Who knows what
That's
we
what
are.
she
Can we
said.
go back
To
to the Empire? Can
That's what
we,
she
like, without being seen as traitors? Are we no traitors?
I feel like we
Probably
could still do whatever we
Only
want.
if that was televised.
And yeah,
Exactly.
I feel like we could do whatever we want
Yeah.
and just deal
You
with
know,
it later.
and,
I think
like,
that's kind of what Liam
parade,
was
or
saying.
Y'all gotta get ushered
Just,
into a room.
you know,
and
worry
said,
about it for the
"Thanks
next 5
very much for your
seconds."
service," and then allowed to like leave.
Yeah.
Ooh, what if
Yeah.
you get a key to the city? You know how sometimes people get a key
Yeah,
to the
and
city?
it's like in a little like
We're
shadow
definitely
box
going to
and
get favoritism
framed.
wherever
Well,
we
one
go.
possibility is that
For
somebody in
a
that
while.
room is on the take and is reporting back to the Empire.
And
so
now
that's
they
bad.
know who. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
you got to assume
Or
something
not.
like that.
And if not, like they'll
It's-
just hear about
you-
the strange.
It doesn't mean
like,
it's
rumor of the
100%, but
strange
you have to
people
assume what he's saying.
might get out and get across.
And even
Hard
if
to
it
say.
does,
I
though,
mean, like,
we get there
like,
and we go, "What did you expect us to do? That we were about to
Dairon,
like get
Cobalt,
executed or
Soul,
prison?"
they've got ears everywhere. Like
What
if I
did you
don't
want us to
frame
do?
this like some sort of
We had to
double
lie
agent
to
thing,
get
we
out.
should
Of course, we're on
like,
the
it's
Empire
great.
side.
Could
We love
be.
the Empire. It's amazing.
So many things.
I know.
It's hard to answer any of these questions
I know, it's
because we
tough.
don't know the future.
It's tough. It's a very,
Why don't
very.
you know the future?
It felt like the middle of the episode,
What are
but
we
again, I totally
paying
understand
you
why
for?
Matt had to end it there.
it was a good way to. It was the right way to end
I'm
it.
turning it
Yeah.
down another notch
think
just
so.
because I
didn't
feel like
see that or
talks
feel it
ride
or
so
understand
high.
it at the time. But 2 minutes after, like the camera went off, I was like, of course it had to be that way.
Yeah. Miss Genie in a bottle has a question for Liam.
Yep.
Caleb was quiet
Miss
during a large
Genie in a
portion of this
bottle?
game. Was he?
Miss
what was he
Genie
thinking
in a
about the
bottle.
plan
Oh,
the
no,
rest of
it's
the group built, and how early
my
on did he start
MX.
contemplating presenting the dodecahedron to
in
the
a
Bright
bottle.
Queen?
Well, I answered
Maybe he
this to
said
somebody
that.
on Social Brain. I was not a plan. I mean, I know that the group had discussed the possibility of it.
Yeah, we
in a
discussed
past
this
episode, saying like if worst
bunches
comes to
ago.
worst. But I don't think anyone really wanted to do that. The idea was floated, but I forgot about it.
I honestly
It was
didn't think they
it
would,
literally was
but
the
also
last
didn't
60
think it would
seconds
make
before it happened.
that
Just like
big of an
everything was
effect.
going to shit. Every person in our group said was being like downvoted, hated, silenced, and it was just like it was more mathematical than anything. And it felt very much to me like the Avantika moment.
they're going
Where
to take
we
it
were,
anyway at that
I
point.
thought like, okay, we've got
if
a plan.
we're being
Okay, the plan's
taken,
broken, but we can get away. Okay, we can't get away. Okay, we can't throw away the evidence. Okay, we're getting on her boat with the evidence. Okay, that woman is looking right at me, and I don't want. And I had the same feeling of
I
like,
agreed
I don't want
with everything Caleb
someone
did.
outside our group
That
to
is why
control the situation.
I honor him.
If I
Not
can
just
act
because he
first,
was
if I can
the-
punch first.
I get
the
that.
hero of Destiny.
So it was really just
Or the
mathematical.
dynasty.
It was everything is going wrong. Everybody is trying to negotiate.
But at
and they're
that point,
failing.
we were
I
done.
don't want to
They
give
were
up this
gonna
thing
take our
either.
shit.
Oh, we're all going
And
to
we either
die.
gotta-
We're going to die. This.
Yeah.
It was
We're
just,
either
it
all gonna
was
die,
Literally, the only thing
or we're gonna fight
he was
our way
thinking
out,
about in the moment.
or we just
Was
show them
save
this
our
is what we
lives.
got. I
Save
thought
our
that
li-
was
and-
great. I thought it was handled
and it-
well.
You know, I know that I've talked a lot on this show about how he is a lot of conflicting thoughts and is selfish, and he is. But really, in that moment, I think he was just thinking about saving the group.
Yeah, that didn't feel selfish to me.
No, I thought that was, if
As
anything,
it began to sink in
like a genius.
that
play.
the result there was a risk. It was a total gamble. I mean,
it could be
everything was on
selfish in the
fire.
sense
like I wouldn't have taken that gamble
that he's saving
2
himself
minutes
as
earlier.
well.
Yeah.
But I think
But
that
it was a
just
gamble, and it seemed
strategic.
to work. And even before Matt wrapped it, Caleb started thinking like, "Holy crap, it worked! Oh, I think we can get Knott's husband. Oh, many things that I thought that were impossible an hour ago are
now
maybe possible."
Yeah.
So he's got 2 tracks going on at the same time, which is one.
I said
I
there
care
are a
for these
few
people,
things
save
that
them,
shocked
and
me in this.
it
I
didn't
mean,
feel
some
like
things
at
I'm like,
war,
holy
it felt
crap, I
like
didn't see that
just
coming.
two,
But I
like,
mean, like, truly shocked.
brain split and two
That
minds
was
going
definitely
forward.
one
Like,
of them.
I can use
I feel like the
this,
Molly
but the other was,
moment-
oh, thank God.
There's
I was gonna
probably
say,
like a
forgive me
handful I
for-
can think
this
of
is
that
naive, but,
actually
like, if
truly
you're the
shocked
heroes
me.
of
Like,
the
no
whatever the
way.
fuck, like, then
Calamity
you should be
did that
able
a
to
bunch.
get him out of jail.
But in this, I mean,
pretty
you
easy,
gotta,
unless that is
slow
exposing you
roll it. You
guys
can't
to-
have
We don't
a
know.
calamity style
I
every
think, like,
episode.
I would go, you know what? That key seems really nice, but there's this guy. He makes
The
like
not reveal,
amazing
major,
headbands
obviously.
or something, and we like him back.
I mean, we gotta talk about it. We gotta.
Sure.
But I mean, I don't know if we're gonna have time to talk about it. That's the problem. So it might just be like.
Yeah. And is there any place safe to talk about it? That's not, there's no ears or
Yeah.
eyes, magical or
We'd have
otherwise.
to put us in a
In
bubble.
this place.
It's also funny because
Put us
I
in a
spent
bubble,
most
bubble
of
us
the
in,
episode. I didn't talk much
and
in the episode.
talking
Well, we were
whispers.
playing slaves.
Yeah, but
so.
even before we got to that, I wasn't because of everything that had happened the last 2 or 3 games. There were things that I wanted to talk to people about in private, and that was what was on my mind the whole time. I was thinking about the
interesting.
shit that went down at the end of the game,
Interesting.
and everything that he wanted to talk about, and all the things that he wanted to say and thought, out the window.
I was just
because of
gonna
that,
say,
everything's different.
because
out
of the
the
intensity
window.
of that moment, and what was
Everything's
the
different.
fork in the road that you were
Yeah.
at. Yeah.
Yeah, up is down, black is white.
And I think everyone was
in the
expecting
road.
to.
I love
at least I
that
was,
there's
is
so much more to
expecting
this shirt that no
travel
one could see because it hips
to
it
the
dips
place
so
that
low.
y'all were going. Weren't expecting a
frumpkin down
teleportation
here.
circle.
Look at that. Look how
Like
much more
I was
shirt
expecting,
there's.
I was like, oh, they're gonna
I'm
be
gonna
like
leave it
on
like
the
that.
road for
Yeah.
another like 2 weeks
That's
just
or
what I
something
thought.
like that. I
Even
was
if it
expecting
was-
downtime.
I think you're right. I think even if it was like fast track
Caleb
travel, I
and
thought
Frumpkin
I expected like an hour of time
My
in the game
rock hard
last
pecs
week
will
where we
hold
would
it
be
up.
on a vehicle or an airship or I don't know what, but with time to talk about things.
I got you. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. Do it again. Cool. Marisha.
Yeah.
Mark Shock wants to know if Bo
But
was
that
in a
is the whole
position to
shirt.
stop Caleb from giving up
Pretty
the beacon,
awesome.
would she
It's
have?
just like that's why I always go like this, and I try to pull it up as high as I can. The smoke should be
No.
like. I mean, I don't know. I feel
I
like the
don't think
smoke
so.
should be like here, and then it would raise it up. You'd see Frumpkin's. You barely see Frumpkin's ears.
All tradesies.
If Bo was in a
Gonna make
position to
mess
stop
of it.
Caleb,
Not a
single
yeah,
drop.
Actually,
Brian.
pretty good.
That's a good
loves
question.
me.
Fucking
Thank
great.
you, Brian.
There you
Oop.
go, man. It's gonna be a long show tonight. We're gonna go till 10. Sorry, Max.
Just like Caleb loves the mighty nine.
Oh wow, sure.
Don't you come for my heart, Liam. over
they've
there.
been dipping into that
Remind
whiskey
you of
for
this
a
moment
bit
the next
now.
time you
I feel
cast
like
the
the last
fireball
2 or
and
3
everybody
Talks
knows.
Machinas,
Continue,
we've been
Marisha.
passing around that whiskey because I remember.
Would I have stopped
At
him?
least
No.
2 ago,
If you-
Brian
okay,
was like,
yeah.
"Yo, give me that whiskey
Yeah.
back." I think it was Tal'dorei, and he's like, "Give me back my whiskey."
One,
I could have
not
gave
in
you
that
one.
setting.
You frigged up and you
Absolutely not.
didn't want it. I think Brian
There
was
were
like, "I
already
offered it.
things that,
You said
like,
no. It's your loss. Give me my
not-
goddamn whiskey."
Was asking that. I was like, probably shouldn't ask that. And then sure enough, she's like, why wouldn't you know that? And I'm like, So there's already like last thing we would want to do is get into like a squabble in front
Yeah.
of this with swords drawn at the ready. That would have been a fast track to probably me dying.
Most everybody. I mean, when he busted out
yeah.
that map and I looked at that setup and just that it was that I was like, this isn't made for.
It's the war room in Strangelove. You can only assume that the most powerful
war-
people
Oh,
in
I've never
their
seen that.
kingdom are
Yeah.
here.
I've
When he was
actually
adding
never
those
seen
other guards.
that
I'm like
movie.
those other guards. I'm already
I've
terrified.
heard.
Don't add more
I
guards
I've
to
seen
it.
like that
You
famous
know what I
scene.
mean? Like,
I can't remember the song that's playing, but some
Yeah, no,
famous
Bo's,
song is playing with this
she's- has
montage of
issues
like
with
some
authority,
war
but
thing.
she's not,
Doctor
like,
Strangelove.
Stupid enough
Never seen it.
to get herself, seen as an obvious traitor. Like, yeah.
also, can we talk about Matt's Caduceus impression?
Good.
Was
Right?
phenomenal.
I said the same
oh
thing.
my god!
I think Matt, he
Killed
even has
me.
the
I was like,
look.
Taliesin,
It's
take
almost
all the
better.
time off you want.
We all get
Take all
really
the
like
time you
complacent with
want
each other
off.
and used to each
Matt
other. Like, oh,
even
yeah,
has
you're
the
just
look
ridiculously
down.
talented, but every once
Like
in a while,
Caduceus, I mean,
somebody
don't
does
get me
something
wrong.
where you're like,
It's
"Fuck,
Talzin's
you're
character.
ridiculously talented."
Talzin's got a great
Or
look
his
and an
Orly
act,
kills
but I
me
feel like
too.
Matt,
Oh yeah.
Want Orly to be
it's
around
great.
every
when
episode.
needed, comes in great.
Let's
Like
give
he
away-
ain't too bad at
Gift
all.
for the week?
A gift of the week. All right, here we go.
It's game of the week. Woo!
Was that Danny or was that Marisha?
Our winner
That almost sounded like it
for
was Danny, but
campaign
it had to
2,
be
episode
Marisha.
56
I just couldn't imagine Danny singing.
was sent
at
in
that
by
point.
Will.
Arnett.
His name's Will Dueling, but Max put Will Drooling in the thing.
Liar, Brian
I
Foster.
feel so bad. Sorry, Will. Let's take a look.
Oh my God.
Ah, yes, I saw that.
Giant, I say, this is a child of the Empire. Oh my God, this is hilarious. Someone, I love how they did this. Connected to the inner circles. They're long ago. as he
Travis
reaches
is
in the
tilted
sack
all the way
that doesn't
tilted.
exist.
I'm gonna put my face in my hands and
Look at
think
it.
about my
That's
baby.
done well.
This is the best
Throws weeks of
Okay.
notes out.
Yes.
I
So
think
good.
Matt, even though there are moments I feel Matt
Congrats to you,
Mercer
Will
hates
Dueling.
when they do something he doesn't expect. In that
Shame on
case,
Matt.
I
You
think
have
it
won
was
this
a love-hate.
Cobalt Soul
By Matt.
notebook.
Sexy.
These are going like hotcakes.
So
Cobalt Soul.
Available now in the
La,
U.S.
la.
and
Can I
UK
speak?
stores. Now this
Cobalt
one,
Soul
you can see
notebook.
it
I
has
have a
wonderful-
lot of
oh my
Cobalt Soul
goodness.
things.
Oh,
I think
Danny
the
let
pin
us
is
use
around
hers
here
to show
somewhere
off.
that I pin on
This is
myself
her
once in a
critical
blue bin.
recap notes.
But I don't know where.
Oh, Jesus
I still have
Christ.
all the koozies.
John Constantine plus
I
Danny.
got my koozies.
It's my notes.
The nestled
Very
nook.
important notes.
Danny's very
Don't
important
understand.
notes.
Oh, look,
Don't
it says
forget.
Liam, what the hell?
What the hell?
Liam, what
Every
the hell?
critter Thursday night, either on Twitter or in their notebooks.
God.
Liam too in his own head.
That's a pretty
Oh,
sweet
boy.
notebook.
Yeah,
Looks like
these are
a,
awesome.
Like a nice little
love it
journal.
so
They're
much.
really good. If you're walking to your car and someone comes up, they're like, "Hey, give me that necklace."
Bad.
It's got graph paper.
For your maps.
It's also
Brian
in the
is
back.
like,
the second,
it's a
the
great
last
book to
quarter
assault
of
a
it is graph
robber with.
paper. What?
Don't break
You
the
can't break it. That's the great thing about these.
It's like a mimic.
He's pulling on it so hard,
book in
Danny's.
Harry Potter, the
Danny's
third-
like, I
the
will
third one, the
end
monster book
you
of
if you
monsters.
ruin my
Yeah,
Cobalt
it's
Soul
also
journal.
mimic.
I do dig those things that keep it shut. I do dig those.
You can
the bindings,
submit.
elastic bindings, or whatever. I don't know what you call them, straps.
Your
Submit.
gift to win gift of the week
Also,
by
if I didn't
emailing
say it in
to
the beginning,
submit
we yet again
at talksmachina.com.
have shortened
Moving on.
Talks
I
Machina, I
don't
think.
there's anything I can say.
Because we
that's
lost
gonna
the
get me out
first
of the-
6 minutes, I think, till the
the
intro.
shithouse.
It's only an hour
I'm just
to
out
the
in the
end
shithouse.
in
Yeah, I
think
completion,
he's
and
on
I
the
think
shithouse.
there's
Hey, but that's
another
okay.
I mean, I'm okay.
Grog
That's okay.
Q&A
It's
for
okay.
the
You
blew
last
the
5
shit whistle.
minutes.
Uh-huh.
So we might
blew
only
the
have
shit
another
whistle out
20
in the
plus
shit
minutes of
came.
this left.
And you blew the shit whistle and I came.
Yep.
Although,
Blew the shit
Tonight
whistle.
on Talks Machina.
how
blowing
about
the
that
shit whistle.
Tetanus Terry?
Tetanus Terry.
Terry.
Not saying it's anybody in this room at this current point in time,
No.
but
I just think
he's great.
Which character do you prefer? Caleb Widogast or
Tetanus Terry. Tetanus Terry.
Are you asking
Tetanus
me?
Terry.
Tetanus Terry.
Tetanus
Who is
Terry.
Tetanus Terry? What
Are
is
we
happening?
talking about in the last like week of time?
No, I'm talking about
Or
forever.
shit.
Tetanus
Today, in
Terry.
this moment, if Caleb Widogast gets assassinated, should I bring Tetanus Terry
Yes.
in as my
Yes.
backup
Yes.
character?
Yes, please,
Yes.
God.
I have to look up
Yes,
Tetanus
I'm
Terry.
in.
It's got to
I'll
be
pay
from a
you.
one shot
I'm
or
not gonna
something
tell you
recent.
how it's
If you're looking for another Warlock
I want
Travis
this.
would walk out the door.
Is he saying?
He
Wait, now
would
I'm like
quit.
Tetanus Terry or Tetra? Was it?
Saddle up and swallow some of these balls.
I have to look it up. Tetanus Terry, was it? Or was it Terry? No, Tetanus Terry.
Tetanus.
God, classic tetanus.
Tetanus
Hashtag classic
Yeehaw
tetanus.
Game Ranch. Is that it? Tetanus Terry.
No, but tetanus is
Travis
a very dangerous
Willingham's
thing.
Yeehaw
Yeah, make
Game
sure to get
Ranch.
your, make sure to do shots.
Yeah.
Had
Stay
to
away
be a
from that
one
rusty
shot,
metal.
right?
Yeah.
Stay away from that rusty metal.
Yeah, it's all of our
Metal's my
people.
other D&D character.
Number of seasons. What is all this?
How would tetanus say
Why-
dodecahedron?
Dodecahedron.
Crunchy, a fresh. Its debut was on February 26, 2019. On
If you don't have any
Twitch.
clue what we're talking
The
about,
VODs
check
are
out Travis
available
Willingham's
immediately.
Yeehaw Game Ranch.
Jeez, you're missing out if you're not
3
watching that.
episodes,
Really kind of are.
3 games, and 3 different lore drops.
Telling you.
We are now.
You guys let me know if that's worth
Streaming.
checking out.
Here
I
we
mean,
come.
I would have to imagine anything
Kenny
done by these
Linden
people is worth
Would
checking out.
definitely vote for us to get a
But
streaming.
I just looked it up.
Because
and
Kenny
they are
asked a great
correct.
question like this from Marisha. On a scale from 1 to 10,
But
how
they're
well
wrong.
would
They're
you
like,
say
we're marketing
Bo
the wrong thing
is following
accidentally.
Dyron's advice? Scale of 1 to 10.
Dyron's
Ooh,
advice.
I like that
I
it's
still
a
like
scale.
Dyron better.
7. A 7.
It's higher
Okay.
than I expected.
Yeah.
Do you think? Okay, yeah.
She's
Okay.
trying not
I
to get
agree,
too
Danny.
attached.
I
She's
thought that
trying
was
not to die.
higher than I expected.
She's trying
I
to
mean, not by
listen.
much though.
She
I
is
would have given it
trying
a
to be
5 or a
patient.
6, in my opinion.
She's not necessarily
I mean, a 7's
Trying to
not
be
far off. Whenever I
biased.
pick something,
Yeah.
like say it's a 6,
She's probably
within
gonna
2
get close,
up or down is
closer than what
is
Tyron would say.
relatively close.
Probably,
So if I
yeah.
pick a 6, anywhere from
yeah.
4 to 8.
7.
I mean, within reason, actually.
That's generous.
A 4 is definitely
That's
too low.
really looking at yourself.
At least within
and saying,
1 up or down.
I believe in what I
is
can
reasonable.
be too.
Pretty good.
And she's still within
That's
1.
above average.
It's above
And I'm
average.
always right, so.
I feel like that's
Good
the
for her.
rating that Bo would give herself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
DC 11.
It's pretty human.
Yeah.
It's pretty human.
Even if she's
Pretty
not
human.
doing a great job at it, she'd be like, yeah, I'm listening.
Zach doing great.
Doing great. I heard you.
Can tell you exactly what you said.
Yeah. I didn't repeat it. Never know heard it. I can say it back to you, though.
I can sum it up.
Yeah.
I might leave out a couple things.
Totally listening.
Oh,
I just described
God.
my job.
I just
Liam.
described my job.
Oh, this is interesting. This is from Triple Helix. How much of a cathartic experience was it for Caleb to renounce the empire that harmed him?
I don't know that it was cathartic.
That's an interesting
Consider
question.
this.
I don't think it mattered because it
Caleb's
wasn't
parents
really.
were very much for the empire. Very nationalistic, do or die, and they bred that into their son, and their son went on to try to honor that. Everything happened that happened, and he's on this journey to try
That's
to
to put it lightly.
atone, and he has done the last thing that his parents would ever want him to do. Walk into the heart of the enemy's empire and give them the number one thing they wanted.
A nuke.
A nuke.
I don't know that it's a nuke.
No.
Some people are saying he handed them a nuke.
Some people are saying that Ford and Caleb are sleeping together. Don't make it so.
Honestly,
saying that?
I guess you could look at it like
I've been
that,
saying it,
depending
but are people
on.
also saying that?
I mean, we've handed
Brian
him
just wants to know that
potentially
he's not alone in
something
this
that is
ship.
as powerful as one.
I know I'm not alone in this
If
shit.
mean, in my
handled
mind, they
properly,
are.
There's still life on
I mean, maybe
Tumblr
not- I don't know.
somewhere.
it's not a,
Just without female
a
presenting
horrible
nipples.
Yeah,
comparison.
but you know what? I'm not looking for those when I'm looking for Ford and Caleb
That
stuff.
is a good point. That is a good point.
What did Travis call it? A dinglebanger?
A dingle
Sure.
banger.
Sure. Called a lot of things that over the years, Liam.
So all those things,
All those things.
but not necessarily cathartic.
But not cathartic.
Cathartic would mean like he
A
would have
dingle
worked it all out.
banger.
and
I
would've-
really like the dingle banger.
No, I mean he feels like he's doing.
Something cathartic.
No, I don't think so at all. He's contradicting the wishes of the people he's trying to save. I don't think that's cathartic.
There's also something to the fact that this is a lot of things, but it's not an earned victory. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's a big moment,
I get what he's saying.
but
It could
it's
have
not
went.
yet like a big earned victory by the group.
It's
you know
not
what I mean?
clearly a victory.
It was
either.
yeah, exactly right. It was like a
Like
Mental fuck.
even though you guys are now proclaimed heroes.
it was
of the
basically a
Emperor, whatever
latch,
the
a
fuck.
latch,
You-
a last-ditch effort to survive.
Dynasty, whatever. There's too
And
many.
we're still
the
not quite
dynasty.
sure
Do you guys say
where-
dynasty
where-
or dynasty?
No,
I'm
dynasty.
leaning towards dynasty because it's
But
so
for now, it
douchey.
bought us time, and we're looking good.
Oh no.
But yeah, like
I
a
don't think it's a
victory to me
victory.
is
I
like
mean,
we
I think they're just
vanquished
alive
somebody, and we're
about
like, we
another
have
hour
won.
at least.
Right now, we kind of just
That is all that Caleb was shooting for.
Bought in time,
I mean,
yeah.
It was, they're going to run us all through with spears, or put us into max security prison.
so let's buy
And I
time.
don't think either of those things are acceptable to me. He thought. So
Yeah.
It kind of feels like a sitcom bait and switch. Mm-hmm. Like, no, it's cool, guys. We're just gonna pretend to be waiters, and we're gonna sneak into the kitchen, and then you get back there, and the chef is like, "Oh, good. I'm glad you're here. My sous chef called in sick. Here's your aprons. Ha 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 ha." Whoa, now they're in over
Look at
their
Liam's
heads
face.
in a wacky circumstance.
Marisha,
Yeah.
that
That
is
makes
some
sense.
extreme.
Feels kind
Look
of
at
like
Liam's
that.
face. I
you
was the
could have
same.
just said. I think to,
Marisha took the
just to-
weirdest route
Yeah,
I
that's
can
Steve's
imagine.
favorite show, by the way.
I'm
I think
like,
to maybe
as I'm
streamline
thinking,
it, you could have
what?
said, you know,
I
sort
mean,
of the
she's
difference
not
between
wrong.
Steve Urkel
But
and
what
Stefan
an
Urkel.
amazing
Do you
route to
remember that
take.
whole
And
storyline?
Liam, I was like, maybe I'm
He
crazy.
gets, like,
Liam was like,
swamped.
what
yeah,
the
yeah, it's kind of like that sort of
fuck
thing.
are you
There's a big
talking
difference
about?
there.
But she did
But
not, it
speaking
did
of
make
prison,
sense.
Yeah.
Don't look at
It
me
was
like
just
that,
a
Liam
very
O'Brien.
odd way to
I
get
was thinking
about
of the show What's Happening. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What's
Did you notice that
happening?
last night?
What's Happening was a great show.
Yep.
on Twitter, I came out as a Liam O'Brien supporter for president of D&D Beyond. I think you saw.
Of course I did. I amplified your true voice. Underneath all the chicanery and the hair product is common sense.
Is common sense.
Is common sense, of course.
Knowing when someone's, when I was growing up,
The
my
chicanery.
dad said,
I haven't heard that word in a
I
while.
don't want you to get too
Chicanery.
involved in politics.
Someone
growing
I
up.
knew
But he
used
said
to
the one
say
thing
that
you
all
should
the
do
time.
is know the difference
Probably
between
like
someone's mouth
10
is too
years ago,
large
drinking buddy.
and someone's who isn't. And when I look at the two of these candidates,
It's the exact opposite. My mouth is non-existent.
yeah, yep, and
Little mouth.
It's very small. And also, if you
well, that's
don't
good because you know
Very small.
if you don't think Sam
Sam's,
Riegel isn't going to fuck off with all your money, you're deluding yourselves.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. That's why I've been trying to take it first before he could. But speaking of prison,
Yes. Yeah.
But speaking of prison,
Federal prison.
Borgavino wants to know. I just had dinner there last night.
Borgavino.
Bo said
I think
before
we've
that she
seen
hates being
Borgavino
locked up.
before. That
Is she
sounds
relieved not
familiar.
to be in prison, even if it's at the price of the beacon?
At the price of the beacon.
Yeah, nobody likes jail,
Yeah, no
Right?
one likes jail.
unless you're a fan of
Nobody likes jail.
books or
Careful.
lifting weights.
Careful, man. Careful. And it's max security.
I watched
It
Oz.
is not where Caleb and Knott went, which is like a podunk jail in a small western town.
I
It
watched
is
Oz. I
max
saw Oz.
security.
Yeah, we're talking.
I
like,
used
yeah.
to sneak and watch
Yeah, I
Oz
mean,
I just
when it
imagine you
came
not
on
in, like, the
live.
stocks.
It was HBO. Had to be
Oh yeah, like the old Robin Hood
I feel
movie.
like I was in middle school.
The one with
Not
Kevin,
Middle school
Kevin
going
Costner,
into high
Christian
school. I
Slater.
feel like
Yeah, that
around
one's
that time.
tight.
Fuck
and
me,
there
he
was
cleared it.
This- the
nothing
new one that came
ever
out, did you watch that
like
one?
that ever
No.
on television. Insanity.
Somebody who really loves the Robin Hood mythos, even I couldn't go see that.
Hey, old
fucking
Greg. No, he's not. Fuck no, I didn't see that shit.
I didn't.
like,
oh no!
God damn,
Believe it or
Liam.
not,
Yeah.
I
Naomi
saw that in
Murdoch Trevino
theaters,
wants
and
to
I'm
know,
pretty
how
sure
does it
we
feel
walked
knowing
out.
that Caleb
Either that, or I got so drunk I can't
pulled that
remember
amazingly
anything.
clutch and
It was a
emotional move with the
travesty.
dodecahedron,
I'm pretty sure we
all while
walked
dressed
out
in
and saw another
BDSM
movie.
straps and leather.
Boy, the art that has showed up on social this week has neglected to include his shirt and coat underneath. I can't imagine why.
Oh, I wonder why.
I have the
Maybe
the
just, like,
AMC
they ran
movie
out of ink or
pass.
I mean, it was.
So I
that's
basically
gotta be
could
it.
just
All they
go
had
in and out of
was,
movies if I want. I
maybe
was
their
like,
iPad
I'm
was-
pretty sure we were drinking
There's
and
just
we're
been
like,
exercises in
"Fuck
pub
this
draw
shit."
about anatomy.
It's true. They wanted
People have
to.
been working really hard.
I got all
wanted to
these
practice.
jars of Germanic white. I got to put it somewhere. Here we go.
Can you say
My
Germanic
God.
white again?
Germanic white.
Maybe I won't
But do it in the cuttlefish voice.
Germanic wow. Do it again. Do it again.
It is pretty good.
And please. This is awkward.
It's so good.
It is really
Terrible
good.
jokes, I'm not
So
gonna say, right?
similar.
Oh,
I've
the
said this
speak and
before.
spell,
We've
too,
always
just
said it.
gives
I
me
think
the
they've even
creeps.
said it. Howie
right,
Mandel,
one more, and then
Gizmo,
we'll do fan of
Bobby's
the week.
World, that kind of sound.
Help,
I
help,
love.
help.
I love Gremlins, Gizmo. I have
Wait.
shirts.
Wait.
We're gonna do the
He
new
has to have a
animated
story.
show. Believe it or
What
not,
was it
if
like
you
playing as
haven't heard
characters
me
that couldn't do
rant,
much for most of the
there's a
interaction
new
with the
animated
Bright Queen
Gremlins show
last
coming
5
out,
minutes
R-rated on
aside?
Not
HBO
bullshit.
this
Not
summer.
great.
Terrible.
Not great. Because the both of us were not really integral, we talked about this, not really integral in any other scenes before the slavery section.
Yeah.
So we just kind of hung back for those sections. And then we were slaves, so we also
Trying to
hung
go
back.
with it. We're good talkers too. That's the thing. You've got like charisma
think
that
so.
competes with Ford's.
Sure.
And I'm okay. I'm not a
of you are better
minus
than not.
3 to
Well, there's also what it says on the
charisma
paper.
rolls.
And then there's also us being actually able to sling shit around at the table.
Right. It's a little bit of combo. Matt will adjust. He's told us before that
Slinging
he'll adjust
shit
the
around at
DC
the
based on
table.
what we say. So it is
I hope
also about like
they're careful
it's a
with how
mix
they
between
sling
what's
this
on the
shit
sheet
around.
and what's
I'm
on
also expecting for Brian to be doing
what comes out of your mouth.
fan art of the
What's
week
on the map?
in the
But
next
it's just
And
luck
what's
of the
5
draw.
minutes.
I mean,
if not
sometimes you
right
have
after this
a
question.
game where you're talking nonstop.
We're running
and
out of time
sometimes
in this one. This
you
is a
just
short
you just
one.
chill in the background.
Yeah.
And I've had those where I also like.
Yeah, and those are great.
Laura was on fire again last week, and I
On
love watching.
fire.
You know, she had 2 like massive sections where she's fucking charming as fuck. She's Laura Bailey, so
Yeah, quick.
it's fun to be a critter who's at the table and just watch stuff happen. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be a
You
slave.
guys see me
every
grinding my
game.
finger.
That was
I got a wicked
Bo's
splinter
gonna have a talk.
like a week ago.
Bo didn't like it.
And it was so deep,
Marisha
I couldn't cut
has
it out.
laughed
Usually I get a blade
at
and I'll
every
cut them
piece
out.
of fan art
It went
that
in
has
so deep
come
I
through.
couldn't get it,
It's
and I was like
great. And I
literally making it worse. So I
Love
just
it.
was like, screw it, put some shit on it and let it
I
heal by
think
itself.
Bo was
and it just finally
surprised.
broke free.
You know,
I think I
Bo
showed you
was,
guys like a week ago.
Pretending they were dressing up as you know they were going with the illusion. It didn't mean go so far as to literally start being a bully. And when she was in a situation and to like work that status that they now had over us. So Bo's gonna be like, okay, I feel like I learned something about you all. First off. And that's, it was very deeply dehumanizing. You know, like slavery.
Yeah.
So
Right, exactly. Yeah.
like in a weird, fucked up way. Like I was thinking about it, and I was like, this might be like a kind of an eye-opening moment for Bo. I think it kind of like affected her a little bit more than she
I feel
ever
like we've
anticipated
been.
it would. Just
I mean, I
just
can
being in
understand that, but I feel
position,
like we've
even
been
for
in
the short
similar
amount of time that she
positions
was.
before.
Yeah.
But
I
it was
don't know,
like,
maybe just
oh,
the situation
this is
specifically.
horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
Absolutely
bad.
horrible.
Like,
One interesting
shit was
aspect
bad,
of the game,
but I
think,
feel
is there's
like we
moments where
have
you're
been
deep
in
character
that
and
kind of
you're,
bad
you're
situation
in their
at
headspace.
least
But there's also times where
two,
you're just like
three
fucking with
times,
your
maybe.
friends.
Maybe
Yeah.
more
Yes.
than that.
And that was clearly
Still
just
doesn't mean
a
I wouldn't
moment
change
where
it.
Travis and Laura are like the biggest piss taker trolls in our lives.
Yeah.
The biggest in our lives. And so they were just fucking with us. But it's still
Which,
happening
like I
and it's
said-
mixed into the gumbo. So like you're still like, it's still like feeding into you
Yeah,
and the
yeah, yeah,
character.
yeah.
It's like everyone's been at a party when like maybe your friend gets a little too drunk and they start like making fun of you a little too hard in
Like,
front of
that's
the
too
rest of their
close,
friends.
too real.
Yeah, and you're like, okay,
I get her.
let's dial it back a little bit.
Very.
Privacy.
Right. You weren't supposed to
Believable.
use that against me, man. Not at my birthday party. No.
Yeah.
That literally was just
But
the
yeah,
thing
I
on a
know,
show I was
Yeah.
watching.
Yeah, totally.
Somebody
doesn't explain
threw
why your
their friend a
parents
birthday
left
party.
and, like, no one loves
And then
you and
in
why you
the
did so bad in
speech said
school and
something that was
No,
like
this
very
feels like
hurtful to that
abuse.
person.
Whoa, we'll take the jacket back. We'll take the jacket
But it was
back.
like drunken,
Roll that back.
meant to be
Yeah.
funny,
But-
but came off
Yeah.
very wrong.
On the
kind of thing.
contrary, one of my favorite pieces that has come in was Bo in tabletop on hands and knees with Jester with her feet up on her, and Bo's like, I'm gonna fucking hate you. I'm gonna fucking get you for this.
Yeah.
Because it's hilarious. But then there's also like this kind of other side of it.
Yeah. Makes sense. Mike's
Yeah.
to chew on. Let's make sure we get to
Fan art of the week.
Fnart?
That's why it's always
Fnart
good
of
to
the
have a
week?
nice
Fnart of the
glass. Because when you're talking and you do something, you're like, and then you take a sip and they know you're done. Because sometimes people take a pause, their idea's not finished yet. When you have a drink,
This
you're like,
week's
and then
winner for
that's what
episode
happened.
56 campaign 2 was sent in by Nikki Dawes.
Oh, Nikki, yep.
Say.
So it's the queen.
And Nikki Dawes draws. Let's take a look.
Nikki Dawes draws.
Yes.
I remember that.
Same.
Yes.
That is quite beautiful.
Spoilers.
But
Spoilers.
it's
That's the main
quite-
image for the gallery this week as well. It's
Oh,
so
it is?
good.
Yay.
That's my favorite when
Really?
those line up.
Wow.
The
This
jewel
one
in the
just really took
staff
our
and
breath away
everything.
here, you know.
Quite beautiful.
Nikki's
So
fantastic.
good.
I dig
Nikki's
it.
fantastic.
Especially
you know,
done
Nikki's also been doing these really
for a
cool
character
drawings
we've
of the guests
pretty
on
much
Between the
just
Sheets
been
this season.
introduced to.
So get over to that
eyes are
at
great.
Nikki Dawes Draws, I think it was, and
Yeah.
I dig
Check
it.
out.
That's
It
that.
is.
That might
Nine
crack
and
the
her
top
husband were
10,
also
guys. I ain't
saved
gonna
by
lie.
the Raven Queen
That's beautiful.
recently when
I
the
like the
car
eyes, the
almost
colors,
got
everything.
mangled
Great.
to oblivion
Under a
The only
underneath
reason it
that
might
car.
lose
Ooh.
points and it might
But
be
they're fine.
unfair,
they made it out fine.
So glad
but the
they're
fact
fine.
that we're like so
Natural
not
20.
attached to that character, like I feel like having
thank
an
you, Nikki,
attachment
so
to the
much for submitting.
character makes me
You
like it more,
have
whether
won
that's fair or not.
These catalogs.
I'd have to see them all
tabletop
side by
tiles
side, but I
from
feel like if you had her
This is
and
the new
like one of our
Kickstarter
core
that they're
main
doing.
characters, and both were
you can
just
get
as
your own
beautiful,
set.
I
They
would lean
have these
to the other
awesome
one.
magnets,
So
so
it
you
isn't
can
like a
sort of
great
reshape
advantage,
how the
I just
thing
feel like
goes, you know, like
it's
however
hard
you
to
want.
beat our
They
group
have these cool
when it's like
beads that'll
something
mark like your spell
based off
slots
a
and your death
scene,
saves and all that fun
dealing
stuff
with a
with the little
favorite,
magnet.
like a
Got a
Knot
dice jail?
That's
or
a
a
dice
Jester
jail right
or
there.
a Caleb or Bo.
And then you're supposed
pretty
to
much
surround
anybody in
the
main group.
thing with other dice to sort of
And
shame
we're getting
it.
better
I
at
dropped one of the
assembling
anal
these
beads.
dice table things.
Yeah, this is
They
pretty
look awesome. I
You
think
know,
they're pretty
who
cool.
do I have to
I
sleep
just
with at
don't
Wormwood
think
to
I'd
get one of
ever
these for my
use
home
it.
game? Is it Bobby?
It's one of those
probably
things like I don't
Bobby.
play. So
Man
when would I
bun.
ever use something like that?
11.
The only thing
always
that
think
is
you have to sleep with
reasonable
someone in order
Worm
to get
life.
is the other side
Is this right?
This is
Is this
about
facing the right way? Worm life?
coaster,
W.
which I use often.
Life.
So
Make
I
sure
could
to check
see it
out
being useful in that
wormwoodgaming.com,
sense, just for the
and
coaster.
remember, you can enter our weekly contest by
But
emailing
they're
your
probably
gift
really
or fan art to
expensive.
submit
I don't know if you ever said,
at
but a set like that, probably like a couple
Rules
$100
for our
bucks.
contest are available at critroll.com.
It's probably at least
Moving on.
$100 for that set because
With
like
a question for
quality stuff, but not too cheap.
Oh, this is interesting, Marisha. J Mag draws.
Oh my God.
J
Caleb says he has no
draws.
love for the Empire, but does
J
Bo,
Madge,
as a
or is it
hero of the
Magi?
dynasty,
It might
does
be
she feel like she
J
has betrayed the
Magi
Cobalt Soul or the
draws.
Empire?
I think it's a Magi.
No, she's not Keyleth. She doesn't feel that
Yeah.
deep. She knows where her allegiances lie. So just because this happened, she doesn't feel like she's
That's kind of what I was saying
committed any
earlier.
act of
I don't
betrayal.
think anything we
I think in her
say
head, she's like,
is
dope.
like
They're gonna think I'm a
solid
badass. They just
for us
infiltrated the shit.
personally. Maybe we're trying to
I've
get
seen
people to
Departed.
believe it one way or another.
have.
But
Yeah.
I could say like I am
As for love for the,
the
Empire,
king
I
of
wouldn't
this
say,
country. I don't
No,
believe
I
anything
wouldn't
I'm
say love
saying.
for
I'm
the
trying to
Empire
survive.
Like she's very personal with who she really cares about, and
Yeah.
kind of
Marisha
herself.
looks like she's
Yeah.
digging
Makes sense.
out
I
her
don't-
brain.
I wouldn't say it's as much disdain as Caleb seems to emit. Mm-hmm. I think she's a little more indifferent. I guess would be a different.
I had
a
the most
word for it.
bizarre
Yeah.
dream,
But
and I just thought of it now when I looked
yeah,
behind
she
Caleb.
she knows how
Liam.
like shitty the Empire
I had a
is. and
dream
she's
that I
watched her
finally found one of those
father also
giant
be like
trinkets.
a loyalist and
Last
the
night,
effects that
I'm
that's
pretty
taken
sure it
on
was
her,
last night
so-
or the night before.
Yeah, she's like,
pretty
fuck
sure
these
last
guys,
night
but she's not like,
that I got
wanna
one,
see it all
and I
burn."
accidentally
Yeah.
took it outside
Yeah.
to take a picture and left it in
Oh,
the
yeah,
rain.
no offense. Oh,
and it was
good call.
like
Good friend.
this sopping wet
Liam.
giant mess.
Yeah.
That was my
Civil
dream.
Panda wants to know.
And then I
It's
woke
always
up.
good when they're civil.
That's how
Has Caleb
wonderful
always
my
been as
dreams are
soft-spoken and
at this point in my
mild-mannered as he
life.
is now? He spoke with so much confidence when revealing the dodecahedron. Was he tapping into an older, forgotten part of himself?
I think he was just trying to sell it,
Touched
but let's
on that
hear.
before. I think Caleb has a high charisma that he just doesn't use
Yeah, I think he's just trying to
anymore.
sell it
I
with
mean,
his
he,
high
does,
charisma.
he does, and we've seen it, but he is
Civil
reticent
Panda.
to. Because the people that he knew with high charisma used it to do bad things. I think that when he was young, he was very clever and gifted, confident, charming, and attracted people. But he's broken now, so no, not anymore. It's there, and he can kind of hold it together like a sandcastle for an hour if he needs to by the ocean, by the tide. But it gets washed away pretty fast.
I understand. I don't know where that.
What
there
a
was a question
comparison.
about someone asked that said not
can
has
hold it
lower
together like a
charisma, but seems to
sandcastle.
sometimes end up speaking up
So
and doing
is
a lot of
the
the talking. Like
sands
recently,
of our
how does
lives.
that make you
What
guys
is that?
feel?
Days of Our Lives or something?
I mean, I love hearing Sam talk.
Same.
I love it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
just because you have a low charisma doesn't mean
I've gotten
that
to a
you
point
shouldn't
where certain,
talk.
there,
Yeah.
not just
I
Matt.
think a lot
Matt's
of that
probably
was
the
a lot of
best,
kind of
but Sam's
sorry,
a good
but guys,
talker.
the
Liam's
bullshit
a good
that I got
talker.
for Keyleth.
Travis,
Why
when
are you
needed
talking?
is, I feel like Bo
You
is
shouldn't be the
definitely,
talker. And I
whether
think
Marisha's
that's
good or not, Bo is definitely stepped up.
ridiculous.
Because
It doesn't mean you
Bo
shouldn't do it. It just means
isn't Marisha.
Everybody's got a voice.
everybody's got a voice. And
everyone's
some
gonna-
might be a
but-
little bit
but-
more
but- but-
bracing.
Jester's great at talking.
We're
It's
seven
just a
friends
lot
and
of the
knockers
wrong
around the table.
stuff. And
We're all going
Caduceus,
to be getting our
I don't think really
hands into the
knows
meat
quite
of
what to
every
say
situation,
and
for
doesn't
sure.
really
Doesn't
care
matter what the
enough
stats say.
to just be chill and laid back.
Vexalia joined an arm wrestling contest in one of the festivals, and she had like a strength of 8, 7.
Strength, yeah.
So like, your stats are there to influence the effects of what happens.
Yeah.
They're not a Bible. They're
Yeah.
not law. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, if a halfling can across the entire nation to throw a ring in a volcano. You know, that's the point of
Yeah.
this.
That's true.
Yeah, against
When
the
did
odds.
that ever happen? Is that before World
This
War
is
II?
interesting. Aura Proria, I try my best. Bo and Caleb have clashed before over Caleb single-handedly making decisions without consulting the rest of the party.
Very
i.e.
true.
Bolgate.
Bullgate.
How is she feeling now that Caleb once again made a hugely consequential choice?
But I
without
feel
the
like
Mighty
this
Nine's
was
consent?
way
So, like,
different. I feel
only
like we
that
were
question because it brings up Bolgate, my favorite gate of this year.
Bullgate.
I do like bowls.
We've
I
had
do-
talks
people-
about
it's-
Bullgate.
it is known.
Bullgate was the
Big bowl
one
guy.
time
Make my own.
that we had a
pottery
problem
classes and such. Sure. It's
with
relaxing.
people
like
talking
toast,
on the channel.
Color me mine.
But we won't even talk about
I'm
that.
just naming things.
Just name things, please.
But-
the rest of the show is just
I think
this
this is way different circumstances. We were dealing with
You know what's interesting
top
about that, though,
level
is that
people in
Caleb,
positions that
despite
could do some
Bullgate,
serious
I think we've learned a
damage
lot
to
about him
us as
since
a
then.
whole.
Yeah.
And I think
And a
that
lot more time has gone by.
it wasn't so much.
And it was pretty much
It's-
we
in
were
some
going to
ways,
lose
it's
it
an unfair
anyway.
question,
We were going to
because
get our shit taken at that point. At some point,
There were
very
split
soon.
seconds there to decide sort of the fate of what was happening. And you could definitely tell by the way Matt was framing everything, right? And it was a decision about what's best for the group, even if you didn't get to consult the group about
Correct.
it. And sometimes in those split second things, I feel like the rest of the group would understand once there's time to actually process what's happening, not in that exact moment.
Brian is
We'll
wording
see.
it perfectly.
We'll see.
Yeah, I think we're
Have to wait fucking 2 weeks.
gonna
but-
have to talk about it. I think there's gonna be some talks.
There definitely should be a talk about it,
Have you
but I
guys been
feel like
talking
anybody
privately
with
yet
common
together
sense would
off the
see
mat chain,
whether
you
or
know?
not
Not off the
it
match. Not
worked,
off the
which it
match.
did
On
work.
the, on the match.
But
the
whether or
match,
not
yeah.
it worked,
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
was
that's
the
been a
move.
topic.
Because what else was the move?
Interesting.
Yeah.
You tell me
It was
if
big- it
anybody
was a big moment.
disagrees,
It was.
like if that was me,
That's the thing.
and you disagreed, I'd go, all right, what would you have done?
Because
Like, tell me what we like, and
doesn't just
right
affect
now,
this-
don't
it-
sit
it
there and think
affects
about
so
it for 10
much, and
minutes.
not
Like
just,
right
like,
now,
the
because you
story,
even had
but
already enough time to
all
think
of our
about it right now
individual goals and
before I did it
storylines,
to
and
make
it
that
just
choice with Matt.
ricochets out.
So if
It's,
you can't immediately spit out an idea that's better, then don't even debate it with me because we had seconds.
Big deal.
I'm not saying to you guys.
I
I'm
love
saying
the-
that's
I
how
love
I would
the, what you're
react if
saying.
I was Liam.
I love it.
Or Caleb.
I love anyone who
You
wants
can't
to
tell me
in
like 2 days
character,
later.
do things
I thought
that
about it,
fuck
and this
with
is what we
Caleb's
should have
backstory,
done.
like
You
send
can
a
tell
letter
me
to
if you
Ostrid.
want, but it doesn't make
It's
any
not like I'm
difference
trying
to me 2
avoid
days
those
later.
things. It's not like this is
Rational,
a cooking
quick
show,
decisions.
or you know, the whole point is conflict resolution, and for conflict resolution, you need conflict.
And I
Like,
believe
that's-
that Caleb
we're a bunch
meant
of actors.
well.
This is red meat. It's
Like I said,
you're
we've
om
known
nom
each other a
nom,
lot
this is om nom
longer.
nom.
Things are
It's
different.
That's what else are we doing it for?
Yeah.
excited for the talks.
Yeah,
We could almost be done.
It's also funny, a parallel to Bullgate during Bullgate. God, that's so dumb.
It's really stupid.
But in that moment, in that episode, Caleb,
so cool.
Caleb in his mind was like, "I'm doing what's best for my new friends. I'm going to protect my friends," and it's not how it read to anybody else.
Yes.
And in this
That's-
same moment,
It's a little similar.
same thing. It's like, holy shit, we're screwed. I mean, we're either dying or going to jail.
Well, because Caleb likes to make himself the authority.
Not
But
in
in-
that moment. It was, we're either dying or going to jail.
Yeah.
Do we want to do that?
And you
I don't
made
think-
yourself the authority on making that decision.
Right, but was there
He
time?
definitely did.
What
He
else could he
definitely-
have done? Could he have said like,
See what
before
Brian's
you
doing?
make a decision about
Marisha's not
something,
wrong.
to
He did
jail.
make
Can I
himself
huddle
the
my friends over
authority,
here?
100%.
I'm not saying it.
I think she's just trying to make a point.
Jester was into it. She pulled it out.
I
It could
think
have been
Marisha's trying to say,
literally
I
any
know
one of us, and I would have the
what you're
exact
saying,
same reaction.
but
Yeah.
I
technically
think
you
it's a
were
little
the
colored because
authoritative
Caleb is known to be such a selfish
decision maker
character.
there.
Colored by the
Whether it
past,
was right or
definitely.
wrong,
It
or
is
you
the
had
past
no
actions,
choice.
yeah.
And
I think that's
Yeah.
But if you got someone who is going into like cardiac
But then
arrest or
Brian's
something,
saying,
and
then
they're
what do
about
you
to
do? What do
die,
you do?
You're the,
But I
like
don't
the
think that's
EMT
what
on
Marisha's
board.
arguing.
Do you go like, okay, I really want to save this guy. I really do,
I
but should
kind
we
of agree
take a
with both
minute
of
so
them
we can
for
all
different
agree?
reasons.
Yeah.
No, you just go.
Yeah.
You
I
just
do.
go.
I do wonder.
I think
if
what Marisha's trying to say is,
Bullgate
yeah, but
hadn't
you've done that
happened,
more than
and if,
most
like, the
in our
scroll
team.
thing hadn't happened.
But then again, you could
and
say, yeah, because no one's
existed
thinking quick
more,
enough.
decisions,
You were
sure.
suffering
And
from your past
Liam is
decisions.
quick thinker.
Liam's fine with,
It's a
You
very
could say
Caleb
that.
thing.
I mean, it's debatable.
So
but also you're welcome.
But also, you're welcome. See? It's like one of those things, if Caleb didn't say
Get
anything,
out of that guy. I'm
then
still so.
would no one else have, and then we're done
It was
for.
fucking worth it.
So then it's like Caleb might open his
But
mouth when he
also,
shouldn't
you're welcome.
without people say so.
Liam O'Brien.
But also, you're welcome.
See, but I
I think
love
we might
it.
be done.
That you're that
I love
type
it
of
too.
player, though.
I love
When
it too. I've told you
were-
guys,
we're
Caleb
gonna
has
have to talk
risen
about
the
all this in
ranks.
Game of Shit
I
and
think
be talking
Caleb is
about
in my
this right
top
now.
3 for a while
did we
now.
do this?
I think it's
Now, you
Bo,
gotta say it
not
now.
Caleb, with Jester a tight, close fourth,
tease
and
marketing.
Caduceus right on
It
the
was
heels.
framed selfishly, too, in the
Yasha
moment.
is just never around, so it's impossible
bag.
to
The
go
way
against
that
all these
he-
top
well, I mean,
tier
It's improv.
characters.
What are you gonna do?
And
He was
Ford
just
just
dancing.
rubs me the wrong way now.
Well, but the way
He
he
is
looked at
getting
it
better.
was all these monster people who are not like Empire poster children fail. What hasn't, what they've tried has not worked. I'm going to try something else. And I didn't want to like do it deceive either. I wanted to be truthful as him at that moment. So everything he said was truthful. I couldn't say those same things about the group. I could only say them truthfully about myself. And I was scared in the moment of having to like roll for deception. I just wanted to say things that were true, and all those things were true. So that if I were grilled or if anyone looked into his mind, I mean, I had 60 seconds to think. So,
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you, but it wasn't I'm the hero. It was math. It was what do I think would
Survival
work
and
the best in this moment.
statistics. Exactly. That's how I plan
I
everything.
mean, but also bring out the gimp.
when I have to make a decision,
I mean,
I don't
that's
look like
that's the point of it all.
I don't think
But
that
also
far
bring
ahead.
out the
I
gimp.
look at it
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
strategically and statistically.
I
What
am
is the best
lucky-
How come
outcome
when we go to
for
cons,
all of
the
us to
gimp from Pulp
survive?
Fiction,
I mean, not
isn't
in
it?
my
Do we know
real
who it
life
was? Who was
situations
the
do I
gimp?
have to worry
'Cause,
about
like, what if at the
survival on
cons,
that level.
anybody,
obviously.
anybody could do it.
But I
He
always
was
try
one
to
of the sound
figure out
guys, and that
what
they just
is
needed to
the
do
best
or something
statistical
like this,
outcome
right?
based
Chris
on
Lucky,
these
you
events.
have to know this factoid.
And then I just act.
He was a
I don't do it, and then
He
I
was
go,
like a
all right, now
writer
what about
or some-
emotionally?
he was a
what
crew
about
guy, I think,
physically? What about
anyway.
that? Like, I just
I've heard
statistically
one
figured
story.
out least
That's
Right?
interesting because, like, if
harm
I
and
should
damage
tell people
and
like I was
most
the
cost
gimp
effective
and
and
put
on
it
a job,
my
I'm talking.
banner thing or
Very
whatever.
believable. Very believable.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like a grip or something like that, and
Oh,
they
it
were
was
like,
a
"Fuck,
grip,
we
all
need
right.
somebody. Will you?"
It was the best boy. It was Rick Moranis, Steve.
Rick
That sounds about
Moranis.
right. Chris, does that check
That is
out?
the second time today Rick Moranis has come up. I just watched an old
Okay, we're being told Rick
video
Moranis
on Howard
was too
Stern
small
of
to
a
be the
celebrity
gimp.
hockey match, and
one
Rick
last thing
Ray
on
Moranis
that.
Romano? What was he
was
doing
on
around
Gary
94?
Bababooey's
Was
team
it
on
Pulp
Howard
Fiction
Stern.
1994?
Rick Moranis and his son. It was like, I was like, what the, how random is that?
One last.
It was
one
this
last
morning. I woke
thought
up.
on that, which is that like Caleb did what
Old
he had to in
Howard
that
Stern
moment
shows
to like
have been popping up all over YouTube.
wave a cat toy in front of a cat.
And they're
to stop
addictive. They're
everyone
like
from
3
dying or
hours of
going to max
insanity
prison.
from the 90s.
But I didn't know that the episode was going to end. I thought we were going
Right.
to keep going and talk and segue, but we didn't segue.
It's going to happen. That's right where you're going to pick up, right?
I guess so.
Unless
Yeah.
Matt's going to be a
We already
dick
know
and
it
it's like,
did.
2 weeks later.
Nope.
Wait,
We already have
Wait.
watched episode 57,
hold
the
on.
first
I
30
spent
minutes.
2 weeks writing down
and
all
it
the
picks
stuff
up
I wanted to say.
immediately
has
from
already
that
taken
point.
place.
So Matt doesn't play any
Your
games.
faces are all over
We're all
the
right
Empire.
in.
Right.
But obviously, how
You
would that
guys
have
managed
happened?
to escape the radiation, but only with
The radiation.
the radiate. What the fuck?
We're all
Yeah.
melting and dying.
When did that get here? That's new.
Frumpkin cat?
Yeah.
We got a whole bunch of Frumpkins.
We did.
All on a set.
Oh, I
native
remember the.
Frumpkins.
Oh, was that the ones we used that night for the thing? Oh, I just haven't seen them in forever.
We got a
Oh,
whole
they're
bunch
kind of
of
spread
frumpkins.
out. They're
Look
just
at
sort
Liam.
of like living
Okay.
amongst us.
I want the spider.
Well, thank you all. Thank you all.
Hmm.
Thank you all.
Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you for being a friend.
Thank you for being a
I would
friend.
like to remind everyone. No Critical Role this Thursday. No talks this coming Tuesday.
They did say
but we'll
that,
be back
but
after
we're
that.
going right in
57.
after this. Patreon
57.
hour.
No, the 4th.
Immediately after this,
57th
going
episode
right
on the
up.
4th. Also,
Still
Paw
have
Draw
to-
tomorrow.
Patreon. So guys,
that is
no
still
part
happening.
1 of episode 57. It was
18.
done in the
Kim
live
Booker,
stream.
Helper.
Patreon
Kim
hour,
Booker
and
is
then
still
we're
coming
getting
out
the
tomorrow.
last 15,
Tomorrow,
20
Wednesday.
minutes,
All that
Tuesday or
still
Wednesday.
stays the same.
Yep.
It's just
Before
Thursday.
the live stream
and
Friday,
then Between the Sheets is
7:45.
done.
Come join us.
Tuesday.
This is done for now. Yep, Tuesday.
But Tuesday
no
we'll
talks.
probably still have a mame drop on
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Probably still
Just
meme
no-
drop on
no talks.
Tuesday. Just
Main
no
drop
talks.
Tuesday.
So,
Well, don't forget to love each other.
We haven't heard
Don't
this
worry,
in so
it's
long.
almost a week from this coming Thursday.
Literally like a month since I've heard.
actually, you know
maybe
who's
longer.
going to be on Mame Drop on Tuesday?
A month or
Ooh,
longer
tell me
since
at
we've
once.
heard "Stay Turned"
Max
to my
James.
friends.
What the fuck?
Who's Max
Are you
James?
for real?
Yeah.
Was she not supposed
That
to
was
say?
smart on-screen commitment. Oh, look.
Oh,
Max
he is.
Scam,
Oh,
Max Scam. And a little bit of Steve. Look at
he
Steve.
is so mad.
Wait, go back, Zach. What are you doing showing me for? Go back to
Max
Steve's
got so
beautiful
mad.
smile.
He gets so angry.
Hey, Zach, did you get a chance to use the
Oh,
thing earlier? or
Marisha's
no?
like getting very red. She's probably like, did I screw
Yeah,
up?
why don't you just show?
She just
show Liam
announced
what
a
we're-
guess that they probably
So
weren't
Zach is
prepared to
Zach
fully
is
commit to
constantly
yet.
looking for
And then he
ways
showed
to
Max, who
use
hates
technology
being
to make
shown.
the show better. For instance,
He
he's
got
always
really
saying, you know
pissed
what,
off
man?
really quick.
There's a lot of things
I
we
don't
could
understand
do
that. I never understood that.
Tech-wise, to
Why people
spruce
get
up the
so
show.
mad
I'm like,
when they're on
spruce up
camera.
the show.
Like,
do we need that? Does
why
it
does-
lack?
why do people
And then he
care?
comes up with these great ideas.
My mom is like
yeah.
that. That's why I think it's hilarious. My mom will freak out if I just go like this. If I'm just like pretending to take her picture, she'll dive under
look
something
like
and be
Ozzy
like,
Osbourne.
"Stop."
knows best.
I'm like, Mom,
I will
who
make
cares?
all the
You can look
decisions in this D&D
horrible.
game now.
No one's gonna care.
Move the eyes closer together.
I don't know.
Terrifying, very Pennywise, very
Guess I'm
Pennywise.
getting married to the queen now.
Oh, we got
Could be my butler.
we got the tetanus what was it? Tetanus Terry?
There's a lot of tetanus in
That
all of us.
reminds me of Rick and
There's a
Morty.
little tetanus in all of us.
Something Scary Terry. I think it was Scary
We
Terry.
love you
This
all.
is Tetanus Terry.
Stay tuned,
Scary
my
Terry was a
friends. Don't
Freddy
forget to
Krueger
love each
dude with
other.
syringes.
Good night, everybody.
I think. I just said how it's been over a month or more since we've seen Stay Turned, my friends, and I'm talking because when they're saying goodbye, they just got into a whole conversation and a rant, and we also just started talking about nonsense. This also had 0 after hours and no grog. So my guess is back when they changed everything over, they probably just eliminated after hours. You guys have probably said it to me 100 times in the comments. If it's been said to me in the comments, I apologize. I was saying how about a month or 2 ago, we just stopped getting after hours, but I thought it was because of the one-shots and everything. That also just happened to be the time the studio changed over, Geek and Sundry was no more, and Critical Role got their own thing going. So, we're exactly 1 hour in to the second. My guess is, from here on, they're all going to be an hour, and the fact that there's no after hours and it starts 5-6 minutes in, we're going to get a nice under an hour video by the time I do my intro and exit. I said it during the video, but right now, everybody is in there for my favorite. Like I said, Yasha, nothing wrong with her. We just never have Ashley Johnson around. And I love Ashley Johnson. I've expressed my love for her. I'm watching 4 or 5 different shows that have had her involved in some way, whether it was a voice actor, actually in it. Tons of Ashley Johnson things I watch. But she's just not in this show enough to have enough going for the character for me to love it. It's nothing bad. It's just not enough good. Whereas Ford, I feel like piled on too many things that in my mind are questionable, and I doubt some of the decision making, and I don't half trust Ford. I could be totally wrong, and I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying I have my doubts, which is why Ford kind of dropped a little. During the whole pirate thing, he was up there. But then choices made and things that happened, I don't know. I've just lost some of the trust. And being as I trust everyone else more completely, and I like the storylines of the direction of where it's going and everything, I would say Bo, Caleb, Not are my favorites. Jester Caduceus right behind them. And then Ford and Yasha. Great stuff. We got a lot of good questions. I like that we got Liam and Marisha. Both were great choices. Obviously, Caleb was a great choice because we got finality in him producing the dodecahedron. Most of the time, they wait another episode to have those characters on so we could fully flesh out what is about to happen. But we pretty much got what we needed to see. And it was great to question him. And I love that we had Marisha on because besides just her probably having a strong connection to the episode, it did tie in to being comparative to Ballgate, but very different in my opinion. We talked about it. We know the differences. I think in this case, a lot more time has went by. And even though he did take the authoritative position of making the choice for the group, I feel like it was well chosen. And what else were we going to do? No one else was stepping up and we had seconds to decide. I mean, maybe if we waited 5 more seconds, someone else would have spoke up and done something differently. But being as we saw it worked, I can't imagine it would have been better a choice. Either way, I'm jumping into the Patreon Hour exclusive. Like I said in the video, there will be no part 1 this week. For episode 57, we watched the first 30 minutes in the live stream. We're going to do an hour, and then the last 15-20 minutes in a part 2. In the link below is the description for Patreon. You'll see that, what I just talked about, the Patreon hour exclusive, every episode of Campaign 2, Season 1 and 2 of Vox Machina, Peaky Blinders, Doctor Who, Person of Interest, Legend of Korra, Death Note, hundreds of other shows and movies. Check the link in the description. If not, comments down below, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace!